Next question. I don't feel like I'm qualified or educated enough myself to homeschool my children.
Yeah, this is super common when people would, find out that we homeschool our kids. They'd just be like, oh, I could never do that. You know? And so then, the natural question is, oh, well, why is that? What brings that feeling to you? And the number one answer is that they just, well, I don't know enough, or I didn't do really well in school. So how could I possibly, educate my kids? Again, a valid question if you're thinking in a conveyor belt mindset where here's the teacher and the teacher's imparting all this knowledge to the students, right? So it makes sense why people would be nervous about that. The truth of the matter is when we're in a family setting or small group settings, we all learn together. So in some learning, it's nice if you're a chapter ahead. It's nice if you're just a hair ahead. So you're prepared, even if you're going to read something together or do like a science experiment together. It's nice if you've kind of thought it through before, but it doesn't have to be, miles ahead of them. Just a little bit ahead helps, right? Not a ton, just enough so there's a preparation level so you're not feeling like, I know nothing about this. Or if you are feeling like, I know nothing about this, then that's the opportunity you have to let's learn about this together, right? Now, that can look like anything from anything really, nouns, verbs. If that's not your thing, it's totally fine. Find a curriculum that you can, like do together, right? Now that becomes tricky when you have lots of kids, right? And they're all needing your help at the same moment. But there are so many out there that, are scripted. So you can just you can read it. You don't have to be the one that reads it. Your child can read it, and that just don't have to stress about any of those things, because if that's something that your kids want to learn about, then you can all learn about it together. There's always, in any circle of people you're going to be in, there's always going to be someone in the group that knows more about something than you do.
Yeah.
Therefore, so
Take
it is at
advantage.
home. Right.
Too.
Yeah. So it is at home. Even the littlest kids are going to know something more about something than their mom does or their older or younger sibling does. It's just how it is. And the more we get used to that and happy with that and tap into every person's greatness, and things that they have learned to enrich our own education, the better.
Yeah. Well, I think if you just kind of cut the kid loose, not, in the sense that you just say, here, go do whatever kind of thing, but allow them to follow, their passion.
Mm-hmm.
They'll kind of take you on a journey themselves, to learn stuff, and they'll actually become an expert in that
Yes.
field,
Yes.
which is actually how it should be in real life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's always been a little mystery why that doesn't happen until college,
Mm-hmm.
for kids, right?
Yeah, right.
Because the world is full of specialists and experts and stuff, and that's what you're training to become, right?
Yeah.
And really win out there. And so why not, fuel that and become an expert in, whatever it may be, whether it be lawn sprinklers for me, or irrigation, uh, or pipe organs for another sibling, or horses for another. All of those have things that can be applied and learned about,
Yeah.
and gain general understanding as you're becoming an expert in that particular field.
Yeah.
So that's on the kid's side, and on the parent, you get the benefit of, while you're not investing as many hours in a day, doing it like the kid is, you're getting the benefit of a more general education, as all of the kids are reporting back and telling you what they learned and stuff, and
Yeah.
may even trigger in your mind, actually I didn't know that, or they asked me this question, I didn't realize this, I should study that quick, and that way I can help them with it or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. It also breeds for the younger kids. They become super well-rounded because they've got all the older kids' interests, that they've been a part of as they were kind of tagging along, right?
Uh-huh.
And I mean, it works both directions, right? The little kids have their passions, the older kids have their passions, the middle kids have their passions, and everybody learns a little bit. I recall you having being up in Montana with a person in a senior living situation, and he had a cool organ that he liked to play on, and you knew enough about it because of your younger brother's interest in it to have a conversation with him about it, right?
Yeah,
Not because you'd study organs, but because you'd overheard him and all his talk about it, right?
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it works really, really well.
The other thing that I think a lot of people sell themselves short on, um, and this is where you're more than qualified, but they might feel overly qualified in the sense that let's just use something super basic, cooking, for an example, right? If you have a kid, well, let's use me as an example. Now I have my own kids, right? Uh, and I have a 2-year-old, and she's just fascinated with cooking. So some people would, say, "Oh yeah, here's your pretend food or whatever, when you get bigger, we'll teach you about cooking, right? But right now, you should be playing with your, dolly on the ground or something, right?" Well, if you don't, that's an interest that she has, right? Just from probably observing, my wife, mom, as we call her at our house, cooking the meals, on a daily basis. And so, uh, kudos to my wife. She has allowed our daughter, even though she's just 2, and to sit there and observe and help, and under supervision, stir the pot, the real pot on the stove with the real food, and get her, pretend knife, and we give her a real carrot, and she feels like she's helping, peel the carrot and whatnot, and just this total love. So much so that every single meal she's right there, actively participating. But now she's 2. She has entire recipes memorized. She can tell you, how to make a smoothie. I don't know how to make a smoothie like mom, but I can ask my daughter. She's 2, and
So
she'll tell
great.
me exactly how many bananas and how many strawberries and stuff to put in the blender.
That's awesome.
So
It's good.
yeah, you can. So there's different opportunities for sure to take advantage of. And even though you might think that you know more and they shouldn't be ready for that quote unquote level of education, go for it. Throw it out there and see what they absorb.
Yes.
If it's something they're interested in, someone super small and young actually has the capability of absorbing almost a college level education if they're passionate and excited about learning all they can about that specific thing.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the other thing we should also comment on, I think, in this category is just the resources that we have today that can educate you as a parent and make you more qualified than ever before.
Yeah.
The internet being the one thing. When I was little, you didn't have that.
Yeah, that's right.
But now, your kid asks a question about a subject and you really don't know. Well, it's only really one search away now.
Right.
In a matter of seconds, you can have the answer.
Right.
You don't need to go to the library or call someone, or whatever, like you had to.
Right. And that gives us an opportunity that's nice to model a healthy use of technology too. We can go to this to look at the answer to this question, maybe, watch one video and then we're finished, or if there's more time, then you can explore more. You're doing it together. And so again, it helps model that healthy use of technology for what as a tool, not a toy.
Right. Yeah.